Hi guys, how you doing? It's Gary here, MexiGary from Twitch, and today I'm going to show you how to use the Boss GT1, or probably any one of the new Boss range, to set up a kind of, I want to say like a generic kind of moderny blues rock tone. But this video and the settings herein are specifically for people who are using the DI output capabilities of the Boss the Boss GT1. So what you need to be doing in order to use those is press Menu, Output, Enter, and you want to make sure that line/phones is selected, none of these amps. Okay, now if you are going into other amplifiers, you can use parts of this video as well. You just want to make sure that you turn preamp off, because the preamp is the virtual amp software that's built into the GT1 and all multi-effects pedals. There are other multi-effects pedals available as well, I should say, but we're specifically focusing on a GT1 today, so let's get into it. Anyway, this is for anybody who is, like me, kind of stuck in the house playing guitars, and if you have neighbours, you can't crank your Vox AC30, or your Dr. Z's, or your Hofnine, or your Hughes and Kettner, or your Blues Junior, or your other Blues Junior. So what we're going to do instead is use the Boss GT1, which is, I've not used many digital effects pedals in my time. I'm a live musician, and I tend to use little smaller amps like the Boss Blues Junior if I can. But today, we're going to go through the basics of setting up the Boss GT1 for a modern blues rock sound. So I hope you enjoy it, and do like and subscribe my YouTube channel if you do. And I'm also on Twitch, Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays from 6 till 9. Anyway, let's crack on. So we're going to ignore these bottom three buttons here, guys, because we're going to do another video about how to set up your board, the Boss GT1 board, as if you would with a live pedal board like this one. So the way I do it is I normally have a boost here, modulation here, and delay at the end. But we're going to ignore that just now. I've already set up I set up a blank patch here. But if you don't know how to do that, we'll just go to the next, there's 70s Funky Clean. Hopefully I don't need to use that one again in the future, because I'm about to delete it. But these are all just the user presets anyway. You have another whole 100 bank of ones that are not editable, but we're just in the editable banks just now. So to clear a patch completely from the user bank, press right, which is enter and exit at the same time. And it'll go into this right utility screen. You just use the number 1 button to move to initialize, and when you press that, it will let you select the patch that you want to initialize, which is remove all presets from. And in this case it is number 80, 70s Funky Clean, and it'll just clear everything out. For some reason the preamp button stays on there, but we'll just take that off for now. So the way I set it up, first of all, when you're looking for that kind of jangly Stevie Ray Vaughan tone, you really want to just kind of set up the amp first before you start anything else. I do have my normal settings here, so that I don't have to bore you to death by trying to figure out what they were. So first of all, you're going to go to Fender Twin, Clean Twin, obviously because of copyright they can't say it's a Fender Twin, but it's a Clean Twin anyway, and we'll set the gain to 80. By the way, these knobs that I'm moving, these relate to what's coming up on the screen. So you go 1, 2, 3, and it's 1, 2, 3 here. On the bigger pedal boards, I think the knobs would be under the display, but you get the gist of it, you know. Right, so the next setting you want to change is your level. I mean, I suppose this could be anything, but with the gain set so high, I tend to take the level down a little bit, just so we're not going to peak when we go through Cubase, which is what I'm using to record this now. Now, I have been kind of messing about with the EQ settings on this, but what my standard one is bass at 65. Middle, I'm going to actually take the middle down a little bit, because Stevie uses a tube screamer, and like I said, I'm basing this on Stevie Ray, kind of John Mayer kind of tones. So he uses a tube screamer, which are known for their mid hump. So you really want to kind of counteract that in the presets, in your amp presets, by taking maybe the middle down to, let's just go with 40 just now. Treble, we're going to take that up to 60. In fact, I might even just get a bit cockier with that this time and take up to 63. Enter will take you to the third bunch of settings here. Now it's almost as if the last bunch of settings has moved along. So we're really working with 9 knobs, but because, as I say, it's a budget device, I've only got 3 on the screen at a time. And the next set is presence, brightness, and your speaker type. So I've got the presence at 69. Misses. Brightness. Now for some reason, my settings here say I usually have the brightness turned off. So let's stick with that just now. You would think for the jangly kind of sound you'd want the brightness on, but I think maybe it's a little bit harsh on this device. So we're going to go with speaker type 2x12, because that's what a Fender Twin is. So we can exit out of there. It won't remove any of your settings while you're still in this bank. So just make sure you don't change the patch while we're still setting this up. So the next thing you want to do is go to your OD/DS settings. And on this, on the Boss GT1, you press it once to activate it. Long press it to go into the knob bay. We're going to go for Tube Screamer, obviously, because as I said, that's what Stevie Ray would use. Drive at 0. That's a common mistake between guitar players that use the Tube Screamer. The thing is, because its EQ is so dominating, it's like I said, it's got that mid-hump. The EQ is actually enough to give you drive in the first place if you've got a slightly cranked amp, if you've got a slightly driven amp. So we're going to leave the drive at 0. Effects level at 50, because that just kind of lets you hear that the pedal's there, but it doesn't let it dominate it too much. So if you take it up to 100, you will get a pretty mad volume jump all the way up when you press it on. So we're going to leave it at 50 just now, because that's kind of a happy medium. The next set of controls is tone, bottom, and direct level. So tone and bottom, we're just going to leave at 0. Level we'll take up to 50, so that we get that kind of halfway mark. You can mess about with these settings afterwards. These are just kind of presets that you can use yourself to amend. It also depends on what kind of pickups, what kind of guitar, and even if you wanted to change the virtual amp to like a Blues Junior style thing, or there's a preset on there for the deluxe reverb. So I used to have one of those and they were great, but when you start playing weddings with them, it's like, God, can you turn it down? It's just overkill, So I just went down to the 15-watt Blues Juniors for most gigs. Believe it or not, even for a 3-piece band, it's way loud enough, Get it mic'd up a little bit through the PA for a bit of spread, and you're sorted. Right, so now we've got the OD preamp sorted. We're going to leave reverb now. The next thing I want to go to, and this is to taste. Now, I should really be demonstrating what these are sounding like as we go. If we turn off the effects, you start off with the pretty. There's no life to that whatsoever. That's just my guitar going directly into Cubase there via the Focusrite Scarlett. So, let's just turn our preamps and Overdrive pedal on again. That's the Tube Screamer and the Twin. If you were paying attention, you remember that. I wasn't paying attention because I've got my notepad here for safety. Right, the next thing we want to do is put the compressor on. Your first button, it says FX1/compressor. I always use a compressor, so it's up to you, but I tend to use a compressor whenever I'm doing anything like this, because if you use a compressor correctly, I always think it simulates the sound of a speaker that's been really ridden hard, baby. So we're just going to stick the compressor on here. Your sustain is at 45. 45. Level at 46. We'll press enter to go to the next set of knobs. Next knob bay. We're going to set the attack all the way up to 100, because we want that really tight spank when we really dig in. The next one I was going to show you was the reverb. Now, I'm usually quite conservative with my reverb settings. First option here is plate. We're going to take that back to Hall 2. That's the one I use anyway. Time. This is 3.75. Effects level 66. Like I said, guys, these are all just these are the settings that I would use to get a decent kind of, like I said, Stevie Ray, maybe some John Mayer, definitely some John Mayer when he was doing the trio stuff, because he based his tone on that kind of Stevie Ray and Hendrix kind of sound. Anyway, let's see how that sounds. Just adding the reverb and the compressor in. See, it's got a nice little bit of... So there you have it. We can go exit out of that. What you want to do, if you like the settings that you've got there, or if you feel like they're at least close enough that you would want to go back and amend them, just press enter and exit at the same time. Takes you to the right menu, and this time you just want to go right. You can, yeah, we're gonna use patch 80 there because that's the one that we removed earlier on. And then you just go through the letters. The first knob takes you through the capitals, and you can use the second knob to move the cursor along, and you can go, in fact, you could, just to demonstrate, you can use the third knob to cycle through capitals, lowercase, or numbers and other things. So let's just put in SRV here. Enter. This is the point at which you can change the genre. Press enter again, and then it's saved. And that means that when you cycle through the patches, that one's empty as well. You go back, tight, crunch, noisy, dub, blah, blah, blah. Go back up to 80. SRV's there waiting for you. If only you was. So thanks very much for watching today, guys. My name's Gary Johnston, aka MexiGary. I'm on Twitch and YouTube every Wednesday, Friday and Saturday from 6 till 9, and Sundays from 3 till 5. Sundays are exclusively blues rock covers like the songs that you heard in this video today. I hope it's been of use to some of you. I know it's not exactly the most advanced lesson in digital effects that you could probably find on YouTube. And plus, I'm also new to making YouTube videos, so I would really appreciate the subscription. And if you've got any suggestions for other videos that I could make, if there's any other pointers you want relating to what we've done today, then please let me know in the comments below. My next video for my next trick will be a video on how to set up the Boss GT1 as you would a live pedal board. So the reasons for and against doing that, but I'll go into that in the next video. For the time being, don't forget to like and subscribe, and something about a bell. Like I say, I'm pretty new to YouTube. I hope to see you on one of my Twitch streams soon. Pop in and request anything you want and I'll try and play it for you. And I should probably come up with a cool sign-off line.
Turn my face to red, but I don't care.